The Kyiv police chief said video journalist Brent Renaud was shot in Irpin and his partner was injured. An American journalist was shot while covering the Ukraine-Russia conflict, according to the Kyiv regional police chief. A 51-year-old renowned media correspondent was shot in Irpin today, police chief Andriy Nebatov wrote on Facebook, referring to a city located to the west of Kyiv that has been hit hard in the war. Another journalist is killed. Another journalist is injured. Now they're trying to remove the victim from the war zone. The social media post identified the journalist who died as award-winning documentary filmmaker Brent Renaud. The post shared images of Renaud's passport and a press pass for the New York Times. Renaud has won numerous accolades for his work, including a Peabody and DuPont Award. According to his IMDb biography, he's been producing films for 2 decades. He often produced films with his brother Craig, the bio says.
Tell me please, what is your name?
Juan.
Juan?
Juan.
Where are you from?
The U.S.
Yes. What happened to you?
We crossed the first bridge in Irpin. We were going to film other refugees leaving, and we got into a car. Somebody offered to take us to the other bridge, and we crossed a checkpoint, and they started shooting at us. So the driver turned around, and they kept shooting. It's 2 of us. My friend is BRENT RENAUD, and he's been shot and left behind.
And how is he?
I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know what happened to him.
I saw him being shot in the neck, and we got split, and I got pulled into the.
And who brought you here?
An ambulance. I don't know.
I hope everything will be okay.
Thank you.
This is an interview that he did. Craig, his brother, and Brent Renaud.
Solo. Sí. Where's the rest of your family?
No les avisé porque los iba a poner en riesgo a ellos también si les avisaba.
Why were the gang members after you?
Para que les sirva a ellos porque quieren hacer guerra con la nacionalidad de El Salvador, con los policías, todo eso.
As we followed the kids from Honduras and over the mountains into Guatemala and across the river into Mexico, one of the things that we found interesting was how many of the kids told us they had unsuccessfully made the trip to the U.S. 4 or 5 times already. Pressure on Mexico by the U.S. to slow the flow of child migrants coming up from Central America has resulted in a major crackdown along the highways and a virtual shutdown of the freight trains the migrants used to jump in order to travel north.
Allá están los migrantes, allá creo, fíjate bien.
The consequences for young kids that are caught by Mexican immigration and returned to Honduras can be deadly, especially if they were fleeing the street gangs that control their neighborhoods. Near the end of our piece, we visit 2 brothers who were caught by Mexican authorities and returned to Honduras, where they were now in hiding.
Hola. Were you trying to go to the United States? Is that what you were trying to do?
Sí, porque con mi mami tuvo un problema, la habían secuestrado y ahí las vendían, los mareros y todo. Entonces, mi mami los de la DIC los fueron a rescatar, pues la fueron a sacar donde la tenían cerrada. Y entonces por eso fue que a nosotros supuestamente nos iban a dar protección los de la DIC, pero no los dieron nada, pues.
Are you hiding from the gang now? Are you worried about your lives?
Sí.
And what will happen if they find you?
que nos maten.
Some of the films that he made: Last Chance High, Meth Storm, Shelter, NPR's Here and Now, Between the Borders, Rolling Stone interview, his Peabody Awards, Surviving the Earthquake in Haiti, Pulitzer Center Meet the Filmmakers, Dope Sick Love, Filmmaker Magazine interview, Little Rock Central 50 Years Later, Off to War, American Deportees in Haiti, Arming the Mexican Cartels, The Murder Beat, Warrior Champions, NPR's This American Life in Country, Fight for Chicago, Taking the Hill, and the PBS special Wounded in War, which I'm going to play you a clip of.
You've got Never Give Up tattooed right here on your forearm.
In Korean, though you beat me down 1,000 times, I'll be persistent and I'll never give up. Regardless of what your situation is, regardless of what you're going through, you know, even though you're without, you still got power within. I'm still alive. And as long as there's breath in my body, then I'm going to be able to do something.
After years of struggling with his injuries, a veterans group approached a reluctant Anthony to get him involved with adaptive sports. Almost overnight, it changed his life forever.
All right.
You ready? Yeah. It's real fun. I was getting hit by a rocket.
Anthony still had some bad habits to get over. But in late 2006, he set his sights on a symbolic challenge: a 150-mile bike ride from San Antonio to Corpus Christi, Texas.
A lot of people thought that I'd never walk again. You know, I'm getting ready to get on a bicycle and ride 150 miles. So we're gonna give it a shot.
But Jessica is going to... Good thing the trailer was there. Easy on the start here.
It turned out to be real therapeutic for me, because when I got out there, at that time, I was thinking, like, if I don't do nothing else the rest of my life, I'm gonna say I finished something.
Y'all are awesome. Way to go, y'all. Thank you so much.
Wayne, was there a turning point for you?
Hopefully that'll be the turning point, you know, to get me out and going more. To me, it would be real easy for me just to sit and think, and that's the wrong thing for me to do. And so Lana, she keeps me going. She keeps me pretty straight.